What's up, you guys? So today I wanted to do a like get ready with me. So I already washed my face. I moisturized my face. Alright guys, I had to move to a different spot because my son actually fell asleep. I don't know where I left off. But basically, I was on my way back to my parents' house. I ended up being there and staying there. And so my baby daddy was actually really upset and everything. He was actually like really pissed off. But I mean, like if you don't feel like it's the right thing to do anymore, like stay with a person, then you shouldn't. I feel like you shouldn't be forced to stay with somebody that you don't even want to be with, even if it's like your baby's father or whatever. You shouldn't be forced. And so that's how I was feeling. I was kind of like just wanting to be by myself. So when I got to my parents' house, my baby's father was actually texting me. We were actually texting, and he was telling me that he was gonna go home already or whatnot, and he was already done smoking and whatever the case was. But he still didn't know that I had left. So I ended up telling him, I was like, you know what? I left to my parents' house. I'm not even home. And he was like, well, why'd you leave without telling me? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just telling him, you know what? I left because I wanted to spend time with my parents and I really missed them. I still wasn't telling him that, like, I was gone for good. Like, he still didn't understand. Like, I was just over there to spend some time with them and, like, I was gonna come home later. But that wasn't the case. Anyways, so then after that, I remember that he was just telling me, like, come home already, come home. Like, I'm just home alone by myself and everything. And I was just telling him, like, nah, like, I'm not really feeling it. I just want to be home I want to be at my parents' house. And I don't want to be, like, over there with you and stuff. And he, like, kind of got the idea that I was just, like, not trying to be with him. So he was being like super nice to me. He was like, okay, well, I'll give you your space, but let me know when you want me to go pick you up. Let me know if you need a ride back. Let me know if you get hungry, like you want something. Like, he was just being hella nice, but I knew it was just like, and he didn't want me to stay with my parents. But so the night comes and he's like, are you not coming home? Like, what's happening? Like, it's already hella late, flipping out. He was like, where are you? Like, why aren't you back? And so I ended up telling him that I was going to spend the night at my parents' house. And so he was like pissed off because, we would always just, never do that. We would always just be together. So obviously he was pissed off. But I didn't care. The next day, I wasn't feeling good because I was early in my pregnancy. I'd say I was like 10 weeks. Yeah, I would say I was around 10 weeks. So I was kind of like noticing. She was like, why are you just in the room? And like, what's wrong? She thought I was sad that I was, back at the house or whatever. I was not sad whatsoever, but I was just really trying to not make it noticeable, that I was pregnant. So I was just staying in my room basically, and like midday that day, I just felt really, really sick to my stomach, and just so much like so many emotions were running through my head. And so I knew, like, I came to a conclusion that I needed to tell my mom that day. Like, Mom, like, I just feel really like sick and stuff because I haven't had my period. And so I was nervous as fuck. I was nervous. But she was like, what do you mean you haven't got your period? And I was like, I don't know, like, this always happens to me. But I was like, this always happens to me where, like, I don't get my period and then I do and then I don't. Like, I don't know what's going on. And she was like, okay, well, she was like, have you had sex, you know? And I was like, no, like, I did once, but it's just like really quick, nothing, you know, nothing like that. And she was like, what the? She was like, oh my God, like, no, like, you could be pregnant right now. Like, oh my God, if you are, I don't know what we're gonna do, and this and that, like, oh my gosh. And she was just so sad. And then I was like, and then so she was like, okay, well then tomorrow we're gonna go to the hospital. We're gonna, at the time I was going to Kaiser, so she was like, we're gonna go to Kaiser and you're gonna take a test because that's what needs to be done. And so I was like, okay, like, I'm willing to do that, you know, like, whatever you say. And so the next day we had gone to Costco. No, first we went to Walmart, and at Walmart she bought me a test. And so I remember, I don't know, I guess I didn't do it right, or they be lying. Like, those tests be lying. You really need to go to the doctor. If you think you're pregnant, you need to go to the doctor because those tests be lying. Because I took 2 tests and those 2 tests came out negative. So I was just like, okay. So I showed her the test. And well, I showed her one and I told her that the other one didn't work because I didn't want her to think like, oh, she's not pregnant, you know, because that's fucked up. So, and I actually wanted to tell her the truth. She was just like, okay, well, we're still gonna take it. Same day when we got home, literally like an hour after we got home, they called me and they were like, what? And I told my mom. She was so sad. Like, she was sad. She started crying. And she started telling me, like, what was I gonna do? I was gonna have to be responsible and start working harder. And that I needed to do this and do that. So it was just like a lot of emotions. And then she just was kind of like to herself. She wasn't really talking to me as much anymore. She was talking to me, like, she never stopped talking to me. I was scared to tell my dad. I didn't tell my dad that day or anything. I waited like, I think 3 to 4 days, and when I told my dad, I had actually came back home from seeing my baby daddy. Well, I got home and he was already in the living room, and I told him, like, Dad, I need to talk to you. And he was like, okay, what's wrong? He knew something was wrong because just by the tone of my voice and everything, like, he just knew something was up. So I was just like, you know what? My mom already knows this, but I told her not to tell you or anything because I wanted to tell you when I felt ready. So I hope you don't get, like, you know, too mad that I kept it from you, but I hope you understand that I just wasn't ready, you know, to tell you. Sitting down and I was bawling. I just started crying because if there's anybody that's been there for me, is my dad. My dad has always had my back, has always, like, gave me really good advice, and has always just been like 100 with me, like, dead ass. He's always been 100 with me. So I just felt like really bad. I felt guilty, like, I'm pregnant. and he was just quiet. Like, he was just quiet. He was just like, I don't know what to say right now. I don't know, like, what to tell you. I don't know what to think. I don't know if I should be mad or what. I don't know if, you know, what's gonna happen or how you're gonna deal with it. But just, you know, I just want to tell you, it's not about you no more. It's about the baby. So that was that, and he really just didn't know what to tell me anymore. He was like, you know, we'll talk again about this another time when I feel more like, you know, prepared to talk to you and like disappointed in you, and I'm just really upset right now. I just don't know what to say, or like, you know, you left me without words. And I told him, like, yeah, like, I completely understand. And when I was just like, fuck, like, I really just didn't know what to say. So I gave him his space and he gave me my space. And we didn't really talk, like, you know, I was just really sad and I always wanted to be and it was first, like, I've always had problems with my mom. Like, we've never seen eye to eye on things, but during this time, she's like the person that I felt the closest to. I felt like she understood me, and I felt like we were just like best friends. Like, she really understood me. Well, I thought, you know, like, that's how I felt. Not that she wasn't, but like, I felt it. Guys, that is how I told my parents that I was pregnant and like how everything went down. I hope you guys like this video. I'm sorry if it was boring. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram, so I'm gonna answer. I'm just gonna pick 2 right now, and then I could do a separate video on more questions, just because I don't want to make this video super long and my son is already awake. So let's see, how did you come up with your son's name? And Michelle asked me this. So I came up with my son's name because my name means God's messenger, and my son's name, Josiah, means sent from God. So I just thought like that was cute. I don't know if I'm tripping or what, but I just feel like that's really cute. When I found out the meaning, I was like, this is the one. Like, this is the meaning. This also means strength and healed. So I feel like my son healed me from a lot of things. People don't understand when I say that, like, healed, like his name means healed, but I know what it means. It just, I understand, like, my son healed me from a lot of things. My son, like, really just healed me, healed my heart. He's my savior, which is literally what his name means. It means savior, healed, and sent from God. And then I'm gonna end the video. So Sophia asked, how is mom life? How is the mom life? Mom life is good. It's really hard though. Like, not a lot of people understand mom life is hard, especially when you have your son 24/7. It's really hard because you can't really do everything you want, like, and also, like, you wake up really early. You wake up twice a night, 3 times a night. The whole day he's awake, he's active, he's active for sure. So you don't really get time for yourself. And I don't know if it's like because he's a boy, because I heard girls are easier, but boys are really active. Like, they want a lot of attention, they don't want to sleep. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but I feel like boys are really harder. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you guys want to see. I'm down to do more videos, more Q&As. You guys can ask more questions. Whatever you guys want, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry if it was boring.